was overshadowed by my perfect brother. Then came my day of reckoning. From the moment I could remember, my older brother Daniel was the star of the family. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Daniel's accomplishments, however small, were celebrated like national holidays, while mine were met with indifference. My parents adored him, praised him, and whether they realized it or not, made him the standard I could never meet. It didn't matter what I achieved. Daniel always overshadowed me. If he aced a test, the family would throw a celebratory dinner. If I aced one, I'd get a distracted, "Good job, Ethan." If Daniel failed, my parents made excuses. If I stumbled, it became a lecture about my lack of discipline. Even my rare triumphs were credited to Daniel. Ethan couldn't have done it without Daniel's influence, my mom once said to her friends about a science fair I worked on for weeks. Daniel didn't even know what my project was about. At school, I was successful. Teachers admired me, I excelled in sports, and I had a good group of friends. But at home, it didn't matter. Daniel's charm and manipulative nature made him untouchable. He had a way of turning every situation to his advantage, often at my expense. The breaking point came during college applications. After years of hard work, I earned a full scholarship to a prestigious university. I was ecstatic, but my parents had other plans. They insisted I forgo my spot to stay home and help with family expenses, all while they poured money into Daniel's private college tuition, a school he barely attended. "Ethan, you're young. You'll get another opportunity," my dad said, as if my sacrifices were just part of my role in the family. For the first time, I stood my ground. With the support of my best friend and future fiancée, Sarah, I packed my bags and left. College became my sanctuary, a place where I could finally thrive without the weight of my family's expectations. Sarah was my rock, always pushing me to believe in myself and reminding me that I deserved a life of my own making. The wedding showdown. Years later, Sarah and I were planning our wedding. We decided to hold it in my hometown, partly as a way to close the chapter on my strained relationship with my family. Predictably, my parents inserted themselves into every detail, demanding that Daniel play a starring role. They wanted him to officiate the ceremony, walk down the aisle before me, and even give a toast about how he'd helped raise me. Sarah and I exchanged a knowing look. We decided to let them believe they were in control. Using my parents' obsession with appearances, we convinced them to cover the wedding's top-tier expenses: venue, catering, decorations, the works. Meanwhile, Sarah and I crafted a plan to ensure the day was ours. On the wedding day, Daniel arrived in a flashy suit that rivaled mine, fully expecting to be the center of attention. But he never made it past the entrance. We had hired professional security to enforce the guest list, and Daniel wasn't on it. When my parents tried to intervene, Sarah's cousin, a no-nonsense ex-lawyer, calmly explained that they had no legal ground to disrupt the event. Inside, the ceremony went off without a hitch. Guests whispered about the drama unfolding outside, many of them old family friends who had witnessed years of favoritism. For the first time, people saw Daniel and my parents face the consequences of their behavior. During the reception, Sarah and I took the microphone to thank everyone who had supported us. We spoke about love, resilience, and the importance of chosen family, a message that landed with pointed precision. A new chapter. After the wedding, my parents tried to guilt me into reconciliation, but their efforts were met with silence. Daniel, predictably, sent a barrage of angry texts blaming me for everything. Sarah gleefully screenshotted them and shared them in the family group chat with a simple message: "We're taking a break from family drama. Thanks for understanding." On our honeymoon, as Sarah and I sipped cocktails by the ocean, I realized something profound. I didn't need my family's approval to be happy. For the first time in my life, I felt free. Moving forward. Breaking free from my family's toxic dynamics wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Sarah and I have built a life filled with love, support, and mutual respect. My parents still send occasional guilt-laden messages, but I no longer let them affect me. Today, I focus on my career, my marriage, and the future Sarah and I are creating together. For years, I lived in Daniel's shadow, but now I'm living in my own light, and it feels incredible.